An escalating battle over transgender athletes in women's sports. President Trump now promising large-scale fines on California after transgender teen A.B. Hernandez won 2 events in the state's high school track and field championship. He made this promise after organizers allowed Hernandez to compete with the caveat that if she won, she would have to share her gold medal with the runners-up. And it was just last week that Trump called California Governor Gavin Newsom, threatening to pull federal funding if the state did not comply with his executive order banning transgender athletes overall. Let's bring in our contributor and op-ed columnist for the Los Angeles Times, LZ Granderson. So, LZ, first of all, what do you think about Trump's promise?
Well, he indicated he was going to do that in his first term. So I'm not surprised at all that he decided to use the bully pulpit in this fashion. I am a little surprised that I have yet to hear from California in terms of response. I did reach out to the Attorney General's office to see if they had a response yet. I have not heard anything, but they did respond when the president banned transgender military members from serving. The Attorney General of California did respond to that. So I do anticipate them saying something to this ban as well.
Right now, polling shows that most Americans do not think trans athletes should compete in women's sports. Why are Democrats choosing this hill to die on, LZ?
I don't necessarily agree with that characterization. I think that's the hill that they're choosing to live on, meaning the least of us represents all of us, and that they're not deciding to sacrifice any members of their coalition in an attempt to try to appease people who don't quite understand what the coalition is made of or understand the humanity of what it means to be a transgender person in this world. So I don't think it's a hill that they're dying on. I will say this, though, they need a better strategy. Not just in terms of messaging, but in terms of actually offering alternative solutions, because simply calling people transphobic or transphobia isn't necessarily a winning strategy right now. They need to be able to say, we want to offer this, or we will need to be able to do this, because I have been covering this here for a very, very long time. And I can tell you from personal experience and from my reporting that there are members of the LGBTQ plus community who are on the fence on this topic. So I think it's one that we can have with love and with care and with inclusiveness, but it's definitely something that the progressives and Democrats need to figure out how to have with a solution tied to it as well.
Right. And then you've got Dems that are breaking away from supporting this. Like Governor Newsom recently made headlines by saying that he thinks it's unfair for transgender athletes to compete in women's sports. And he's widely considered as a potential presidential candidate in 2028. So what do you make of that? And do you think this does signal, a split, at least, in the Democratic Party?
I think it's signaled an opportunity for a healthier conversation. The senator from Arizona as well has recently sort of said that he did not agree with a transgender female athletes participating in sports as well. And I think this is an opportunity for Democrats not to run to a ban, but to run to a conversation. Again, I've been covering sports for a long time. You've been covering sports and news media for a long time. And through the course of history, I have yet to see an example in which a ban in sports has been looked upon favorably through the eyes of history. And so this is yet another opportunity for us to figure out a solution as opposed to figure out more division when it comes to sports.
You are so right, LZ. You and I have been covering this subject, sports and sexuality, for decades now at many networks. And it's always so great to have your voice and read your op-eds. Good to see you, LZ. Appreciate you.